I'm at the beach right now. I have a little bit of peace, but unfortunately, I have to talk about manosphere. What's manosphere? Misogyny, apparently, sexism, toxic masculinity, or whatever you call it. People say that it promotes misogyny, hatred towards women, or abuse. I don't think it does. And let me explain. When you look up manosphere, it beats it down saying it's very misogynistic and that it's disguising itself as self-help and mental health help and things to help men and teaching about masculinity, but but then saying it is toxic masculinity when I don't think it is. Because you look at feminism and it talks about empowerment, talks about, oh, women having equality, and you know what, I'm all for equality. I really am. I'm not gonna look down on a woman who wants to be ambitious, passionate, successful, and rich. Go for it. To me, I just think that's cool. A woman can do that. I'm not gonna look down on her just because she's a woman and think, oh, she can't do what I do because I'm a man. If a woman wants to be a millionaire, I look up to that. I look up to that. But what I don't look up to is modern day feminism that beats down men and treats men as if masculinity is a bad thing and wants men to be soft and argue that like men used to be going to war and shit and saying men are not men anymore. But the thing is with modern day feminism, this empowerment is trying to teach women to be more like men and teach men to be like women, and that's not right. With any group, there's always going to be a cult, an extremist side. Same thing with toxic masculinity and things like that. There's always going to be people like that that do bash women, but then there's also women who bash men and then hide behind feminism. That's with any community, any form of group, anything that advocates something, there's always going to be a negative, toxic, abusive side to it, and that's what I would call a cult. That's within any community. Anyway, back to manosphere. People say manosphere is toxic when everything I've ever seen from manosphere is not toxic to me, because I'm a man. I like masculine shit. I look up to masculine shit. I look forward to that because it's in my divine code to be a man. It's not within me to be a man in a dress. It's not within me to be a man with soft hands. It's not within me to be a man to accept mediocrity. I don't accept any of that. But also as a man, I don't look down on women. I love women. I don't look down on women. I don't think they're lesser than me. I don't think anything like that. But then people want to bash masculinity and things around manosphere and say that it is about that and that it's teaching men how to be toxic and how to be selfish and how to be abusive and sexist, misogynistic, things like that, when it's really not. It's about traditionalism. It's about being traditional. It's about being a man and being in the code of your biology. You see, like when I look up manosphere, it bashes the hell out of it. So there is a lot of abuse and agenda towards men. But then when you look up feminism, it's all about empowerment and equality and all this shit. So there is a narrative. But then whenever I do see anything about modern day feminism, it's just toxic shit. It's trying to kill all men. It's trying to make men weak. It's trying to abuse men. Like, for example, there's women out there that look up to women who divorced their husbands and took half their money and alimony and took their kids and think that's great. But then if a man wants to divorce a woman, then the guy's toxic, he's abusive, he's whatever. So there is an agenda and there is a narrative. With manosphere, people who are associated with manosphere is Jordan Peterson, Myron Gaines, Aiden Ross, Andrew Tate. Anybody that serves men and teaches men about mindset, discipline, strength, masculinity are all dumped into manosphere. But whenever I watch anything from any of these people, there's nothing that they say is sexist or misogynistic. Nothing. Jordan Peterson's a psychologist and a philosopher. I don't understand how people think he's sexist or misogynistic when everything that Jordan Peterson has said, I resonate with. He's just teaching you to use your mind and discipline and mindset and what it means to be masculine and what it also means to be feminine. He talks about both things. He talks about roles. He talks about what men should do. He talks about how you should uplift yourself through suffering. He teaches you that suffering is a main part of men, a main part of masculinity, and it's the main thing to become stronger as a person. It doesn't just stand with just men, it can be with both people, but men, it's a man thing to be doing that type of thing, to suffer and then become masculine. And then when I look at people like Andrew Tate and how he's bashed online and gets accused of so much shit, I really don't get it. What are you accusing him of? Everything I ever watched from that guy, him and his brother, are all good points. I'd rather look up to him, not that I idolize anybody and I'm not a kiss ass, I don't idolize nobody, but I look up to him more than someone who's weak as shit and submissive and wants to do this buddy shit. And you know that they don't take risks, that you know they're too comfortable and being uncomfortable freaks them out and they're just weak-minded people. And I've been around weak-minded people my whole life, and I used to be a weak-minded person myself. So why should I look up to that when I was that? And there are people like that and they just ruin your life. But then when I look at someone like Jordan Peterson, Myron Gaines, or David Goggins, or Andrew Tate, everything they ever said, when they talk about discipline and mindset and masculinity, it's stuff that I look up to because that's something I'm striving for. Why would you not want to be a millionaire? Why would you want to be in your 9-to-5 for the rest of your life? To me, it's cool to appreciate things. It's cool to be humble. But then when you know there's better out there and you know that you can have such a better life, why the fuck are you okay with mediocrity? And that's what they talk about. They talk about mediocrity is the new norm, and that's why men are weak now and why women are going rampant and shit. And that's why it's called misogyny and why they're labeled that, because they bring women into the mix. But imagine if they didn't. Imagine if they didn't, would you look up to them then? But the thing is that they have opinions that you do not like and you do not understand. So you want to throw the label of misogynistic and sexist and abusive and toxic when all they're talking about is being a better man than yesterday, being better than the version you are today, fucking striving for more, making your dreams become reality. How is that manosphere? How is that manosphere? To me, I don't get that. And then when they talk about women, everything they say about women is true. It's just fucking true. It's just true. Women are emotional. Women don't use their logic all the time. They're emotionally driven. Their logic is their emotions. When a woman feels bad about something, what do they do? They literally destroyed whatever was fucking negatively impacting them. Like, oh, let's say in a relationship, the guy is this, the guy is that, oh, you know, they have kids. Because she feels some type of way, she's gonna ruin his fucking life. And you see it all the time. And women winning in courts, with divorce courts and shit, taking half his shit that he worked for, she just came into the relationship, she didn't earn that shit, taking half his money, taking his kids, and not allowing him to see the kids for the whole week, and controls when the kids get to see him on the weekends or not. What about the guy? The guy has done everything he could, and he wasn't abusive or anything. In some cases, yes, some men are abusive and shit, and you know what, good for the woman to leave that type of dude, but then the type of dude that you only just fell out of love with, now you want to destroy his life, and then other women advocate that and be like, yeah, go get that bad girl and all this shit. I really don't understand that. But how come that's empowering? But then men, teaching men how to be masculine is misogynistic and red pill. I hate the red pill thing, because red pill in the Matrix, it's from the Matrix, it teaches Neo to see the truth, that he is in a matrix, he is in a system that's against him, uses him and abuses him, and then when he sees the truth and, you know, he becomes the one, it's not about him being the only one, he's the chosen one, he's the one who can save the planet. It's talking about you. You can be the one individual, the one who thinks for himself, the one who thinks for thyself, the one with a free thinking mind, the one who has no programming, the one who cannot be programmed. It's talking about you. When you take that red pill and you see the truth and you see how the world really is, that's what it's talking about. And then to loosely throw it at manosphere and say that's red pill is stupid. It's stupid to me. I just don't understand why there's so much abuse towards men who just want to be men, especially in a day and age where being a man is non-existent. Do you understand what I'm saying now? I don't condone abuse. I don't condone sexism, misogyny. I don't condone that. But then there is a psychology to a lot of things in the world. There's people in the world, so there's going to be psychology. There's going to be patterns. There's going to be brain reactions. There's going to be things like that. And women react a different way than men. And then with other communities such as LGBT, that's already trying to divert us from heterosexuality. Men becoming so feminine and being so strange, especially in media where you see men in dresses and you see everything has to be inclusive, but nothing actually is inclusive. It doesn't actually involve you. It just includes a certain category of people, inclusive towards them. It's not inclusivity. It's not. And why am I bringing this up? Because even that goes against manosphere, so-called manosphere, because they do not advocate manosphere shit. They do not advocate masculinity. It's trying to teach people how to wear dresses and how to fucking cut their dicks off before they turn 18. You know, you can throw hate at me for that or put in a hate comment and say, oh, how dare you talk about the community. There's real life people I know who are homosexual, who have transitioned, and they're decent people. And even they agree with me that the community is toxic. And that just goes for anything. Feminism has a toxic community as well. Maybe manosphere also has a toxic community, but only because people take it in the wrong way. Young people who look up to these people and not actually see what they're saying and then say, oh, maybe I should abuse women. Nah, that's on them. Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson is not teaching you to abuse women. They're teaching you that being a man has its roles and a woman has their roles too. It's not about just getting rich and fuck everybody, fuck the world. It's not about that. It's about proving it to yourself as a man before you leave this planet that you deserve better and that you don't have to be stuck being in a system. That's all they're trying to teach you, discipline and strength and just going for it. And it can also apply to a woman as well. There's successful women out here in the world, whether it's in Hollywood, whether it's in businesses. There's successful women out there, and I look up to them a lot more because they're doing it. I look up to successful people because they're outside the norm, and they probably got made fun of for thinking the way they did or thinking of a different type of way than other people. That's why you see peasants and fucking other people just living in the ground level, not doing anything with their lives, hating and hating and hating on the 10% that are actually rich and wealthy. And maybe a few percent of them are actually good people who used to be just like us. So why you gotta throw hate? And everything is a debate, everything's an argument, everything has a label, like, oh, masculinity, manosphere, equality, feminism. But then now there's modern day feminism, which just defeats the whole purpose of equality. Now it's just about women wanna be the new men, and men should be women. Men should abide by us and all this stuff. There's no duality, there's no balance, there's no yin and yang anymore about anything. It's just a power game at this point. Who can divert the most? Who can create a louder agenda? Who can narrate the world and the media the most? It's sickening, it's toxic. And to look down on men who are just trying to be masculine and teach other men how to be masculine and saying that's misogynistic is stupid. You cannot tell me that me being masculine is a bad thing. But then when there's women out here that are feminine, you don't look down on them. That's their God-given nature to be feminine. They can have masculine tones as well because, you know, father and mother, father masculine, mother feminine. The kid is going to take in both of that. Some people have a single parent, so the parent has to be both masculine and feminine, but it depends on who's who. So they might have a more feminine life, have a more masculine life. But what I'm trying to say is, why are we bashing masculine men? And I know why. It's because of an agenda. We're being told that being masculine is wrong. We're being told that being men is wrong. And don't get me wrong, there are disgusting men out here. But I'm not one of them. But there are disgusting men out here that are abusive and grape and shit and are sexual assaulters and users and all this stuff. Men are more physical with their disgusting nature. Women are more disgusting psychologically. They may not attack you physically, but they attack you emotionally, psychologically, verbally, and mentally, just everything. Men are more physical. So of course that's going to be a bit more louder, being like, oh, men are this, men are that. But women are just as bad. We're both bad. We're both pieces of shit. So I don't understand why manosphere is such a bad thing, if feminism is such a great thing. And then there's women out here that advocate for misandry, hating on men. I've seen TikTok lives where there was some woman that was saying, I hope all men die, and saying all this shit, and she doesn't get banned. Weirdly, she's just saying like, oh, we're gonna weed you all out until there's none of you left. It's disgusting, but then TikTok doesn't ban that person. But then when I talk about spirituality, masculinity, men and women, relationships, and just talking about cool shit, then I get banned for misinformation and hate speech. Can you see that there is an agenda and there is a narrative where it is trying to kill off men a little bit? Not physically kill us all, but trying to kill our spirits, trying to kill our divine code. We're masculine by nature. We're men. Women are feminine by nature. They're women, you know? But then now it's teaching women in this world to be more masculine, to kind of have the belt in the world and all this shit. And there's nothing wrong with a woman having rights. There's nothing wrong with a woman being able to vote. There's nothing wrong for a woman to do what she wants. I'm not going to tell her what to do. I'm not going to tell a woman what to do. But then what I don't allow is my essence being bastardized. The same way how feminism is now bastardized. In the 1800s and 1900s, it used to always be about equality. Women having the same rights as men. Women being able to be companions in a bigger spectrum instead of just being a housewife. I'm all for that. But I'm not going to tolerate my code being bashed. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to tolerate my existence being bastardized, being looked down upon. When I'm a man, I'm going to have masculine shit in my life. I'm going to be masculine. And me not giving a fuck about what people think of me or having opinions that are out of the norm, I'm not going to give a shit. What are you going to do, Charlie Kirk me? Because that's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. That if you say anything that is not a part of a narrative, you get killed. It's a sad world. To me, manosphere is not that bad. It's not as bad as what people make it out to be. Yeah, there might be some hiding in the fucking bushes and being snakes and shit, pretending to be all about like self-betterment, but are actually abusive. That I don't advocate for. That I don't inspire to be. But then when all these other names like Jordan Peterson and all them lot getting thrown into the mix is disgusting. I just don't get it. So overall, all I'm trying to say is that masculinity being taught should be mandatory. I do not want to wake up in the next couple of years and just see men in dresses, or men pretending to be women, or women pretending to be men, or just all of this weird shit. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. That's not how I grew up. That's not how I saw things when I was growing up. In the 2000s and early 2010s, men and women were men and women. But now you just see women pretending to be men and trying to think that they're better than everyone else. And then you see men who are weak as shit and they're crying about shit and they're incels and they're weak and they're soft-handed and they're more feminine than women. And it's like, there's obviously a fucking imbalance with things. There's obviously an imbalance with things. And it's because of the narrative, and it's because of the agenda, and it's because of the bashing, it's because of fucking everything you see on Google or everything you see on YouTube or anywhere that you go on, Twitter, Instagram. It's all banning masculinity. It's trying to teach men and young people that being masculine is bad. When it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better than yourself yesterday, having more money, having security and safety, being able to be the perfect version of yourself, self-improvement, and just working on yourself inside and out, mentally, spiritually, soulfully, physically, everything. And then when you do get a wife, you can give her everything you ever fucking wanted to give her. My mother passed away a long time ago, and she was the best woman in the world. She was an absolute angel. I look up to women like her. But I haven't seen women like her because she's a classic woman. But she was a dreamer, and she was a very successful-minded person and an absolute angel. And you know, I've got stuffed animals because she loved them, so I surround myself with her energy, you know? So I'm not like Mr. Macho and shit. There's nothing that macho about me. You know, like I'm not trying to act like I'm such a hotshot, because I'm not. I just know I have no ego. I'm not trying to pretend to be anything but myself online and to people in real life. And it just sucks to see women like her not existing in the world, and you just crazy shit. And men like me look down upon for just being men. And then men who are strong enough to have a voice and influence being shut down. Andrew Tate being fucking accused of human trafficking. I know the fuck well he did not do that. I know he didn't. There's no evidence. He never did that. Again, the system and an agenda and a narrative is against you for being the classic traditional way of being. And I'm not saying traditional as in, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat my wife because she made me the wrong sandwich. Like, why the fuck would I do that? But I'm just saying, men are men, women are women. The roles are not supposed to be swapped, because now look around you. Men who are weak and feminine, just, it's weird. And then women who are trying to be masculine and calling the shots, and then you see it's just everything's going fucking crazy. And just the whole love bombing shit and situationships and toxic shit being advocated for, and traditional shit not being allowed anymore or looked as old school and outdated. And it's like, well, look now. Is the world better? No, the fuck it's not. Why do you think there's so many people who want to go back in time? Why do you think people are having 2000s aesthetic and shit? Because the world was just more normal back then. Especially when I was growing up, it was more normal. People went outside. Online wasn't even a thing, really. A little bit, but not really. Your phone wasn't your life. People live inside the cyber world more than they live outside. Whereas back in the day, you'd go on your PC and you just look at whatever and that's it. But then you have a life outside. It wasn't loud. It wasn't saturated. Overly saturated with garbage and fear-mongering and scare tactics. Now it's all over the place. It's in your face. And that's why there are gender wars and shit. And I don't have a war with anybody, but I had to make this video because why is manosphere looked down upon? I don't even like calling it manosphere. I just call it masculinity. There's nothing wrong with masculinity. Same way how there's nothing wrong with being feminine. I don't look down on women for being feminine. So why should women look down on men being masculine? That's my whole point. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this video, but that's okay because I'm gonna stand on business. I'm a man. I'm gonna think like a dude. I'm gonna be a dude. I'm always gonna be a dude. You're not gonna put a dress on me and make me think different. I wouldn't allow it, because I've seen too many people out here, and even in college and shit, a lot of weak men around me, and it's because they're not masculine. And no one likes it in the real world, but then online and all this shit, it's like, it's teaching kids the wrong things. Thankfully, I was smart enough to not be taught this shit, but I used to be weak-minded. I used to be quite soft. I used to be sensitive. I used to not have any ambition or passion. I wasn't a dreamer, really. I just did art and stuff, but I wasn't that deep about things. I would think deep, but not this deep. But then now that, you know, when I watch all these other people and I've gotten older now, it's like Jordan Peterson and everything they say, I just understand. And I just don't get how that's misogyny or sexism or bashes women in any way. But then when women talk down on men, it's like, it's cool. How is that cool? How is that cool? Like, I never did anything to you. And there's people out here that want to cut my dick off just because I'm a dude. And you know, when I do TikTok lives, I get a lot of hate from men and women, not just women, but men too. Weak ass men that say, oh, why should we listen to you, dude? Oh, you ain't shit, dude. And all I was doing was spreading positivity, discipline, mindset, spirituality, masculinity, dreams, and just being healthy mentally and just looking outside the box and shit. And people that are so closed-minded, they're not going to understand that shit. And I think that's what it is. It's just everybody has become so closed-minded and biased now that the second they see anything, they just have to agree with it. Like, that's why a narrative and agenda is so strong. Like, if a narrative around media or everything says, Andrew Tate is this, 90% of people are going to go like, well, the TV said it, well, the phone said it, so it must be true. Instead of going and listening to what these people have to say, instead of the clips they show you. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that manosphere is not what you think it is. It's not trying to bash women. It's trying to make sure that men are still men before we fucking run out and we're mentally fucking melting with this bullshit of like, oh, maybe we should be wearing dresses. Maybe we should bow down and be like, oh, it's time for your 3 p.m. ball busting, honey. Yes, dear. Nah, we're men. We're not submissive. Men are just not submissive. And sadly, the agenda and narrative is working, because a lot of people are becoming soft as shit and incels and weak and weird and being sexually desperate. I don't know, just everything's disgusting and shit. And then there's women who are just trying to kill us off. Maybe not physically, but mentally, emotionally, verbally, psychologically. And then there are some beautiful women out here that agree with the shit I say and love watching Andrew Tate. And guess what? They're traditional women. They're feminine, and they allow men to be men. They allow masculinity in their lives. They don't try and tell men what to do or what they should be like. And they know that there are weird men out there, but then they don't go around looking for it and being like, oh, let me write on Twitter about it, you know? It's just, what are we doing? What are we doing? What's fucking wrong with us? What's happened to us? The fucking new generation, the young generation, the new generation after mine, this is all they're seeing. And they're gonna feed off this shit. And my generation is no better. We're brain rot gen. We're the brain rot gen as well. But weirdly, I'm not really aligned with that. So I feel so out of place, agreeing with traditional shit, but then seeing that the world doesn't. And labels, everyone has to label something. They can't just say, oh, that's just the way it is, that's just how men are, this is just how women are. No, it's like, oh, men are toxic, they're this, oh, toxic masculinity. And it's like, what's toxic about being better than yesterday? What's toxic about going to the gym? What's toxic about being masculine? What's toxic about not having the same opinion as everybody else? What's toxic about wanting to be wealthy? What's toxic about wanting a better life? What's toxic about taking care of your wife? What's toxic about being a man? I just don't get it. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video, but I really don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit, because if you don't understand what I was saying, what's the point of commenting? You know I'm not gonna agree with you, unless you have a really good point. But all I'm trying to say is that masculinity needs to stay alive, because without it, the world's gonna be in an imbalance, and the world's gonna get fucked up. And you need masculinity and femininity in the world, because they're yin and yang. We're not supposed to swap roles. We're not supposed to be anything different. We can't hide from our biology. We can't hide from our chemistry. We can't hide from that. It's in our DNA to be this way. And the elites and all this shit, and whoever pushes this shit, and just the motherfucking snakes that, like, you know, reptilians are gonna fucking push this shit, are gonna push it. It's gonna destroy us all, and it already is. I know this has kind of been a rant and shit, but I had to touch on manosphere, when it's not even manosphere, it's just masculinity. That's all it is, because masculinity is running out in this world. And there's nothing based anymore. Everything's sensitive, everything is censored, everything is snowflake era, everything is snowflake shit, everything is pandering, everything is inclusive without it being inclusive, everything is a lie, everything's a fucking front, everything's a facade, everything is fucking noise, everything is just bullshit. I just don't get it. As a traditional man myself, as just a normal straight dude, this is the shit I see every day online, and just, it's not just online, but real life as well. There's weird, sick, mentally ill people in this world that are having a voice, and people are agreeing with it. Fucking skewed perception, weird judgments that are just not even fact checked, and people are gonna take it in and actually agree with it. Like, opinions are opinions, you know, this is just my opinion, but there's gonna be something happening. There's gonna be either a grand awakening, or the world's gonna blow up. There's too much toxic shit, everything's so saturated, and men are fucking dying out. It's just gonna be human beings with a dick, but then they're not men, they're not none of that. And then there will be people with vaginas and shit, but then they have beards. It's gonna become this weird hybrid humanoid shit, and masculinity and femininity is not even gonna be a fucking topic anymore. It's gonna be ancient history. And then the world is gonna fucking blow up. So anyway, that's about it overall. I was just saying, manosphere is not toxic. Maybe there's some, but they're not. Especially the names that are listed, especially on Wikipedia, and we know we don't trust Wiki for shit, but this is just coming from a normal straight dude, that masculinity is dying, and it's being labeled as toxic, and we're all at fault. It's our fault for letting it happen, it's our fault for being pacifists, and it's also the elites that control this narrative and brainwashing us. We're all brainwashed. We're being brainwashed into thinking a shit that there's no point of arguing about. Nobody argued about it for generations and thousands of years. Why are we arguing about it now? Old school feminism is cool, but this modern day shit is a cult. And then now they're bashing men even further by saying manosphere is toxic. Only because it threatens your cult, it scares you. Because you don't want that masculine shit in your life, because you don't want that. Then you'll have no control. You don't want duality, you want to be fucking up, and then just let these people burn. That's just what I think. Anyway, a lot of rambling, but that's about it. That's the end of the video. Hope you liked the video, and if you didn't, I don't give a shit. D-Dot out.